So by now, I've already talked about it plenty, but I am a fan of a shorter movie. I don't mean like an hour and 10 minutes, hour 20, like hour and 35, hour and 40 minutes to me seems pretty damn decent. Now, the longer the movie goes, if it justifies a longer runtime, then I'm okay with that. That's fine. But if a movie overstays its welcome because it's just doing something awful and it's trying to be more than it is, I'm usually more inclined to ignore the movie or outright not see it at all, which would be the case for all the Transformers movie, considering starting with the second one, they've literally gotten longer and longer, and the plots get dumber and dumber. So like, why would you want to go see that? On the other hand of that, we all love the comic book movies, so generally the longer they are, the more we feel we're getting out of them, but sometimes that can't always be the case. I thought Age of Ultron ran a little bit longer than it should have, and there's a few other movies I thought were, they could have trimmed off a little bit of the excess fat and definitely made a better movie. I'm looking at you, Thor: The Dark World. Should have just trimmed that entire piece of crap. But anyway, currently the shortest movie in the MCU is Louis Leterrier's The Incredible Hulk, which comes in at 112 minutes, which is pretty damn short. It's just around an hour and 40, and then, minus the credits and all that, but that's what I'm saying. It's a pretty brisk movie, but when you see that movie, it doesn't feel like it's that quick because they get to explore the character, the plot makes sense, and has an epic comic book battle at the end. So you feel like you got a full movie out of it, and it feels like stuff wasn't cut. Even though we know a bunch of stuff was cut, and that's why Edward Norton left, but that's a different story. I talked about that in my Marvel retrospective. Plug! Well, currently the director of Thor Ragnarok got to talk a little bit about the length of that movie, and this is what he said. The cut right now, I reckon, is about 100 minutes. It's not gonna be very, very long film. I think the stories are better when you leave them wanting more. And this film moves at a clip. It's got stuff happening all the time. I think people are still going to feel very exhausted by the end. They've been on this big journey and stuff, so I don't think you need the film to be 3 hours. So I know a lot of people might be upset, but honestly, like I said, I like a shorter movie and I'm okay with it. And let's be clear, this is Ragnarok, Asgard is getting destroyed, there's the gladiator battle, there's the journey that Thor and Hulk are gonna have once they're out of there. So it definitely seems like it's a different type of film, and if you slow it down when everything's coming down to, like literally Ragnarok, the end of all things, that kind of doesn't make sense to you, does it? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, I personally hate it in movies when they're like, okay, and let's use any Roland Emmerich movie for an example, where he's like, all right, Earth is about to implode upon itself. We're gonna follow this guy over here who is, going to go hang out at his girlfriend's house for 30 minutes while the earth is shattering and she doesn't want to leave her chinchilla behind. Okay? Like, that's stupid, right? Like, we don't need that. No one, why would you need that? Get a movie going and cut out whatever you need to make sure it's a coherent movie. Now, on the other hand, I'm going to be pissed because this world looks like it's going to be awesome, but then they did say there's going to be plenty of deleted scenes, so we'll see a lot of that there.